Hi, everybody. Diana here. Welcome to this week's episode of So Uncommon, where we're going to talk about using files in the free embroidery software called Embroidery Toolshed from Dime. And you'll see why we're going to talk about this in a minute, because today is a very special episode. We have met that goal of over not just 3,100 subscribers, but over 3,100 subscribers. And it's all because of you all joining our community. And it just fills my heart with so much joy. Thank you all so very much. So today is about not only learning how to use Embroidery Toolshed a little more, but it's very special because I've created a free gift for all of you, and I'll show you how to find it. It's just over on my website. You'll get all of your files, or you'll get your file and you'll get all of your instructions, because you're going to be using it in Dime's Embroidery Toolshed. Now you're going to say, "Oh, I don't want to work with software." Yes, you do. Because using software will enhance everything you can do on your machine. Have you ever seen a design, an embroidery design that was made only for a hoop that was too big for your machine? Well, with Embroidery Toolshed, you can save your designs to fit your hoop sizes. It's really fun and easy to use, and we're going to be doing that with today's free gift. And let me just share my screen with you right here. There we go, because we're going to go under my camera and right here. So, my favorite phrase is "so life beautiful." As embroiderers and quilters, we're all artists, right? That's what I believe. And everything we sew makes not just life more beautiful, it makes our whole world more beautiful. So I thought you all might like that phrase in a format that you could put on tote bags, a t-shirt. I'm going to be putting it on a t-shirt for myself for the summer months. You can make it as a block in a quilt if you like. When I show you how you can resize this, you could even use this as part of a quilt label if you wanted to. Now, this particular one that you're seeing here, I've stitched out in a variegated thread. You can use any variegated that you like or any solid thread that you like. That's completely your choice, because remember, you're the artist. And so this was done in an 8x8 frame. Actually, it's for an 8x8, but I actually did it in my 9x9. So it's quite large. But you're going to be able to create it in the size and the machine file format that meets your needs. So I want us to go, first of all, to the software. Now, in the pattern, you get the information on downloading this free software, but I will show it to you again before we are finished today, because it's very easy. It is completely 100% absolutely guaranteed free to everybody, okay? Dime does this. It's very gracious of them to put out an editing software. I've been using it for years, and I recommend it to everyone because, like I said, when you use software, it only enhances your embroidery machine features. Even our big, ultimate, glorious, high-end machines, it enhances those features as well. So here we are, and I have brought in our little design, So Life Beautiful, and I'm going to highlight it because we're going to talk about a couple of things. First of all, we're going to talk about the format that it comes in, because you usually buy an embroidery file and it comes in all your machine formats and you go in and pick yours and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's a lot of formats to keep hanging around, in my opinion. And sometimes you don't want to save all of those to a USB or to a computer or something like that. You want the one you need and you don't really want others. But maybe you do have two machines. Well, that's where software can help you as well, because you can save to as many machine file formats with this software as you need. So let's go up to File and let's click the Save As button for a moment, because I want this window to pop up. Now, it is telling me the first thing I would do is I would go into my computer and find my file. Okay. but right here, it's giving me the name of my file, and it's telling me that it is in a C2S format. That's the native format for Dime software. Now, all software has its own native format, but I'm sending it to you in this format because when you use the free tool shed, you can come in here now and create it and save it to any size and in any machine file format. Bernina, Husqvarna Viking, Foth, Janome, Babylock, Brother, you name it. We even have some professional file formats in there as well. So while we have this highlighted, let's look over here in our transformation box because this is where some of the fun starts. So there's two buttons clicked here. One says maintain aspect ratio, and with that clicked, when you change one size, it will automatically adjust the other size so that you can have everything still in the same kind of arrangement that you see. It's not going to be stretched out of place or things like that. So when I click that and change that, so right up here, let's look. Right now for that 8x8 frame, it's almost 12,000 stitches. But when I change it to fit in a well, let's make this a different size because I want it to be in a 6x6 hoop. So let's say 575. There we go. Now I know that's going to fit in a 6x6 embroidery hoop. And when I click apply, look at this number up here as I click apply. It goes down to just slightly over 8,300 stitches, but it still looks beautiful. It's still going to stitch out perfectly. No bubbled stitches, no stretch stitches, no bare spots. It's going to look great for you. Now, if I want to undo it, I just come back up here to my undo button. And there we go. It's back to my original size as well. There's one other button here, and that's the button that makes the difference. That's the button that regenerates all your stitches. The regenerate stitches button. You want to make sure that's always changed. So when I say regenerate stitches, when I unclick it, if I were to change this again and click apply, it didn't change my number of stitches. It didn't regenerate them. It probably squished them all together. So I'm going to go back and I am going to click that regenerate stitches button. Yep, now it's clicked, and I'm going to click in my 5.75. Now watch it. Now it is regenerated my stitches. You want that so that your design stitches out beautifully. Isn't that fun that you can do that? Down across the bottom, you can work with your colors. You can always add colors here at this plus sign, or you can click the negative sign and it'll take you down to only the thread colors you're using. And did you see it take away all but that one thread? That's because I did the whole thing in a variegated. So to add new colors, I can just come over here and click my plus sign, or I can left click on any color and it'll bring up the palettes area for me. And in this drop down box, all your different thread manufacturers are listed. So if you use Isacord, there you go. There's your Isacord palette. If you know the Isacord number you want, you can put it in the search bar and it'll bring it up. Now, I admit I use Exquisite 40 weight thread. And so my favorite color in Exquisite is 904. It's that beautiful light aqua. There we go. Now, if I highlight my whole piece again and I right click on that, it's changed my whole design color for me. So I can play with that as much as I want to and get my colors exactly where I want them to be. Whoops, I clicked on the left. I need to right click. There we go. Now I'm back to my original colors in that beautiful variegated. I just thought the variegated with all of these little stitches in the main letters turned out really pretty. And I love how it turned out in the satin stitch letters as well. Now, there's something else that you can do that's really important when we do embroidery that you can create right here in the embroidery tool shed. Go ahead and highlight it. Click print preview. And that is going to bring up your printer page. and your design with those marks, those crosshairs in it, so that you can print out a template for placement. Now, if you click yours and it comes up and there's no marks here, just click settings. That means your crosshair button probably wasn't clicked. So if it comes up and it looks like that, well, that's nice if you just want to print it out as a pretty picture, but it doesn't give you those crosshairs. So just click settings and click crosshairs. If you prefer to see it in the realistic view rather than the stitches, which is what we were seeing, click realistic and then apply. And then you see the actual design, how it would stitch out with your crosshairs. Isn't that nice? Now, when you print this out, you can print it out on regular printer paper if you like. When you place it on your design for placement, put a little bit of like 505 spray on the back, not on the whole thing, just in a couple of spots, just like, you know, that just a tad, so that it stays in place. I use a product for my templates called Print and Stick Target Paper from Dime. You can check with a local retailer that sells Dime if you want to check that out. It is a paper that's a little bit transparent, it's sticky backed, and you can use it for your templates. But if you don't have that, not a problem. You can use your printer paper. Just use something. I wouldn't use a pin because a pin will give you a bubble on the back and then you're not actually placed properly. So use something sticky on the back. Maybe even do a little bit of your paper tape that you use, you know, make it into the circle. Let me bring mine over here. I don't know what this is actually called, this process when we turn it like this, and then stick that on the back of your template and stick it on your project, and then it will hold on there while you then take your hooped project to your embroidery machine. And with the features on your embroidery machine, you'll just click, click, click your needle right over to the center, drop your needle to make sure you're right in that center point, then lift your needle. You can then advance it to the first stitch of the design to make sure you're still exactly where you want to be. And when you print it out, go ahead and cut it out of the paper. You don't want to use the whole sheet of paper. You want basically your design. So cut out around it. I usually cut out about 1/8 of an inch around it, not very much at all. The other great thing is that these arrows here that point up, those will always tell you where the top of your design is at. So if you're rotating your design in any way because of the host project that you're putting it on, then you will have that to tell you where the top is. Now, when you're cutting it out, if you cut off this top arrow, you probably won't cut off the bottom one, but if you do, go ahead and take a pen right there or a marker and put yourself a little arrow across that line so you'll always know where the top of your design is. And then go ahead and print it out. Isn't that great that you can do that? I love that. So that is how your design comes. Now you're saying, but Diana, it's in that funky format. How do I get it into my format? Well, that's pretty easy to do. We're going to come over to File, Save As again, and we're going to tell it right in this box where we want to save it. USB stick, some folder on our computer that we have already created for our files. You could put it in there. Then you've already got the name there, so you don't really need to rename it. But right here in this drop-down box, so there's that native file format that it comes in. But if you do the drop-down, all of your machine file formats are listed. Bernina, Husqvarna Viking, Brother, Baby Lock, Foth, Janome, you name it. Singer, they're all there. Elma, they're all in there. Even some professional formats are in there. So you would choose your file format and then you would save it to wherever you've chosen to save it to, a USB stick probably, and then you're ready to go. So a friend of mine who has a Janome and a Brother, she could go in and save it once for her Brother machine and once for her Janome. Or maybe she wants to only do it on her Janome machine now. She could save it to that format. Maybe down the road, she trades in her Brother and she gets a Husqvarna Viking. She could go in and then save it to that Husqvarna Viking format, because in this software, you don't have to hold on to those files that you save. In fact, that one that you just created in your machine format, after you've used it, you don't have to save it anywhere else. In fact, I only save them in my machine format to a USB. I use it and then I get rid of it because I will always have it in this native format. I can always come into the software and resave it. That way I'm not filling up hundreds of USB sticks or taking tons of room in my computer. So that is really fun and easy to do when you use Embroidery Toolshed. Now I want to bring in a clean workspace, and I just clicked right there because I want to come to File and Open. If you're just using Embroidery Toolshed, the free software, then you click Open. If you have any other Dime software already, then you probably know when you click File, you would click Merge. If you're using any other Dime software, because they all have those regenerate stitch abilities that I was showing you and the templates. So I have opened up a file from one of the Kimberbell Bella boxes, and I'm just going to choose this little design here and bring it in. Now it is in my PES file format. So can I do anything with that? I sure can. If I highlight it, I can come in here, regenerate stitches, maintain aspect ratio. That's what I want. I want to put it in a 6x6 hoop so I can type in my new size. It'll adjust. Now look, I'm at 7,100 stitches with for the 4x4, but look what happens for the 6x6. It readjusts everything, and now I'm at 10,000, a little over 10,000 stitches. So then I can resave it. Now when I resave it, instead of saving it right over the top of my 4x4, I changed my name. I just come in here and get rid of the 4x4 and put in 6x6. That way I'll always have my 4x4 copy and I'll have my 6x6 copy. And then I will save that to my machine format, and then I'm ready to go. And then you can also, let's come back in here. Let's go back to the 4x4 design. There we go. I can still come in here and even make my templates for doing my placement with designs that were not created originally in that C2S format. Isn't that cool? So I would just cut out around this after I printed it, and away I'd go. I could use that little template to place on my project and get my placement properly done. So let's go ahead and close this. And now let's go back to our full screen. And I'm going to leave this because I'm going to come into my computer because I want to show you where you can get your software. You just go to shop.dzgns.com, www.shop.dzgns.com, or just www.dzgns.com will bring you here as well. You come over to software, and once you're there, there we go. You just click right here on Embroidery Toolshed. It brings it up. It tells you all the things that you can do, which is a lot more than what we just talked about, right? So they're telling us this is a $200 value, guys, that they're giving us for free. That's incredible. I used this for probably 5 years before I ever purchased my first Dime software. And I loved it, and I recommend it to everyone. And then you just come down here, you click your download, it will walk you through it. You need at least a Windows 8, I guess it's saying, to use this. You can also use it with Mac. It'll give you all the information for doing that. You're going to download a little translator. That's a little piece of code that sets it up to be read by your OS software so that it's native to your software, to your operating system. You don't have to use a virtual environment like, what are they called, Parallels and Boot Camp. You don't have to use that if you're a Mac user. So that's pretty cool as well. So you'll get the information on how to download this when you grab your pattern. So to grab your pattern, let me just bring in my own website here. Now I'm going to come back and let's share. And let me show you this. There we go. So here I am. It's So Uncommon. Right down here where it gives you a preview of some of the things that are in the shopping area. You can always click up here to see everything in the shopping area. It's the very first one right here. So when you click view, it will bring this up completely free. Click view more details, and it'll give you some more information about the Dime software and all of that. Okay, so that's really easy. So that's where you're going to get your free design. If by chance they're all gone when you go to get yours, just hang on. I'll get notified and I'll go in and replenish the designs. Okay, so I only put so many in at a time, but once they're gone, I will definitely replenish it. It's completely free, like I said to all of you, as a big, huge thank you for being a part of this community. We're really starting to grow. I'm getting more requests for request buy videos. I love making those for you. So if you have a request for a specific video, quilting related, quilting with your embroidery machine, piecing with your embroidery machine, or things you can do with the embroidery toolshed software, I could probably help you out there too, since I use it all the time. Let me know and we will certainly do those. And you know, I do a lot of videos on Dime's other softwares as well. In fact, I think our next one is going to be a piecing in the hoop on a specific design. I think that's going to be the next one. Don't hold me to it though, because so many things happen and then I end up changing that one and it goes somewhere else on the list. But I have so many of them coming up for us. Thank you all so much for letting me be off last week. I told you in a quick little video that we were out doing a little bit of Christmas shopping, and I was also getting some blanks purchased for some upcoming videos and designs that I have coming up for the holiday season. And the week before that was kind of a crazy week for us because my husband actually spent a couple days an overnight in the hospital and was sick for about 3 days. And so it made a kind of a rough week for us, but he's completely better, all well. So no worries there, but it had been a crazy week that week. So I did happen to do a shorts video. If you've not been watching our shorts video, go take a look at them. They're under 60 seconds, really quick, easy little tips, tricks, ideas, things to inspire you, stuff like that. So as I always say, folks, if you've loved this video or any other video, whoops, there we go. Subscribe to this YouTube channel because we're over 3,100 subscribers now and going strong. And again, that's all because of all of you. And I appreciate it so much. So go grab your free design. And remember, as always, go sew life beautiful. And until next time, again, go sew life beautiful. Bye for now, everybody. Have fun with that free design. I can't wait to see pictures with the hashtag SewInCommon on them when you post them because I'd love to see them. Bye, everybody.